Welcome to this conversation about program management, my friends. You see, program management has many components, and if you look at the entire book without scaling it, it could be a bit intimidating. And by the entire book, I'm talking about this. It's the standard for program management from the PMI. This is the fifth edition, and this is the standard that we will be using for our program leadership institute training. We have a new program that's starting on the 3rd of January, and you can go to programleadershipinstitute.com to learn more about this program. It's called Professional Program Leader Certification. So I'm going to give you the lay of the land, the general picture about what program management is, and hopefully this will give you a firm foundation to build more on in terms of the principles of program management, in terms of the domains, and all the intricacies. So let's jump straight in to what I call the get a big soda pop cola mnemonic. I try to make it as simple as possible. Program management is the application of various systems and tools to effectively manage multiple interrelated projects or initiatives in order to achieve the benefits that you were seeking in the very beginning, in order to get value, in order to get to that desired outcome. So when we look at programs, we're looking at multiple interrelated projects, initiatives, multiple interrelated affairs that may consist of operations, product development. It's the coming together of a lot of initiatives. So unlike the old definition, which would say it's really all about projects, I want you to start thinking about initiatives. I want you to just look at programs as a way of organizing multiple streams of work. Let me read what PMI have for you here on page 14. It says, program management is the application of knowledge, skills, and principles to a program to achieve program objectives and to obtain benefits and control not available by managing program components individually. It involves aligning program components and resources to ensure that program goals are met, benefits are optimally delivered, and risks are effectively managed. So when we talk about programs, it's very clear to see that what is needed is great leadership in order to succeed as a program manager. So let's jump straight into get a big soda pop cola. As you work on multiple interrelated projects, the first thing you want to think about is governance. Governance is all about decision making. It's about understanding the bounds of one's authority. The PMI often say governance is a framework in which authority is exercised. You need to have a framework and understanding of what is within my bounds of authority and what is outside. And that needs to be on a person by person, team, business unit, wider basis. We can have organizational governance, business unit governance, team governance, so on and so forth. Program governance, portfolio governance. So we're talking about decision making, we're talking about audit and compliance, and we're talking about performance reporting. And all through the program, I'll be breaking these down for you so that you know what each entails. When it comes to governance, the PMI also recommend various technical requirements that you see here, such as governance frameworks being designed and implemented, governance framework practices, governance framework roles, and so on. And we're going to be breaking these down all throughout the program. So when you think about governance, think about a framework of functions and processes that guide the general program activities. Then we have A, so it's get a big soda pop cola. The A stands for alignment, and under alignment, we're talking about things like strategic fit, we're talking about business case, we're talking about roadmaps and planning. When we talk about strategic fit, we're talking about continuous verification that goals support the corporate roadmap. So that's alignment in a nutshell, and it comes with its own set of technical requirements. Too many to go into at this level, but we'll talk about them in the course. Then we get into benefits. When we talk about benefits, This is the domain that focuses on delivering value. So we talk about identifying the benefits, we talk about delivery and realization of the benefits, and sustainment. And it has its own set of technical requirements as well. Then we get into the world of stakeholders. When we talk about stakeholders in this program environment, we're talking about these things, and I hope you can see them clearly on the right-hand side. We're talking about identifying and managing interests across the ecosystem. So engagement strategy, expectation management, influence mapping. These are all exercises and concepts that you as a program manager want to be aware of. Then we get into get a big soda pop. But before we get to the pop in the middle, let's talk about the C outside, because it's get a big soda pop cola. So the C stands for collaboration. We're talking about collaborating with people, your stakeholders, and this will come full circle. This will be a 360-degree collaboration activity. So let's get into that. All right. So the C is for collaboration. And under collaboration, we talk about synergy, right? I call it the COLA synergy. It's about deep partnership between the program team and stakeholders. So we're talking about co-creation, designing solutions alongside end users to ensure high adoption. We're talking about knowledge transfer, continuously sharing of technical and strategic insights. And we're talking about team synergy, fostering a high trust culture across cross-functional work streams. And we're talking about, as a program, you have multiple interrelated initiatives, projects, operations, but everyone has to be on the same page to fulfill the purpose for which the program was authorized. And as usual, we have standard technical requirements there as well. Okay, now, speaking of the P, this is the program lifecycle. You as a program leader should be managing this lifecycle. This lifecycle consists of 3 parts. We have the definition phase. Let's bring it to the middle so you can see it real good. We have the definition phase, we have the delivery phase, and we have the closure phase. Let's break these down in a little bit more detail. When we talk about the program definition phase, we're talking about doing all the work that is required to effectively understand the program. So we talk about this being a blueprint where we set the stage for success. We want to be engaged in formulation activities, the initial structuring, the business case development and strategic mapping. We're going to be involved in program planning activities, and this is a lot of planning. This will be the development of the program management plan and component roadmaps. When we get into the program delivery phase, we're talking about program delivery management, program performance management, benefit sustainment and transition, program change management, program communications management, program financial management, program information management, program procurement management, and program quality assurance and control. But remember, there's a lot more that goes into all of these, and that's why I would encourage you to bookmark this video and come back so that you can see the details. We have program resource management, program risk management, program schedule management, and program scope management. So there's a lot to unpack here, and these are the areas that I will be unpacking for you in the program. But the delivery phase is loaded for obvious reasons. The closure phase also has some artifacts. We have program closeout, program financial closure, program information archiving and transition, program procurement closure, program resource transition, and program risk management transition. These are all like checklists that you should be aware of as you're closing out your program. So a lot of stuff. Remember, in the world of programs, this could take many, many years, 4, 5, 10, 15, as many as that. And you have program managers come and go in many organizations. So, my friends, that is the general framework. Get a big soda pop cola. Now you've seen it come to life. But wait, there's actually more. What else could be left? The understanding that all of this rests solidly in a bigger orbit. This is a rather small orbit that I'm showing you here. So I got to show you a wider realm of program understanding. And this is where I introduce the principles to you. These are the principles that PMI have introduced in the program management standard. All right, so moving along, let's take a look at the principles. And the very first one is stakeholder management. And it just reads, engage stakeholders proactively to ensure harmony. That's a no-brainer. Programs exist because of stakeholders. Then we have benefits realization, focus on generating value for the organization. Next we have synergy, navigate complexities for optimization greater than the parts. We have team of teams, integrated networks for sharing strategy and empowered execution. Then we have C for change, manage change to improve effectiveness and efficiency. Then we have L for leadership, inspire and lead the team to align vision with efforts. Then we have R for risk, proactively manage risks throughout the life cycle. And finally, we have G for governance, ensuring transparency, oversight, and compliance. So with that said, my friends, we have covered the entire framework for program management. You have learned the principles. You have also learned the general cycle of life. You've learned the framework, and I hope that has added value to your program management game. I know lots of you are in the world of program management and you haven't really been for training. This would be a great opportunity for you to get world-class teaching, training, help, expansion. And all you need to do for that is go on down to programleadershipinstitute.com. That is programleadershipinstitute.com. We're going to be exposing you to the world of program leadership with an agile lens, with a predictive lens, and just a general principled mindset as we've covered in this book today. By the time we're done, these things will give you a very firm foundation to build on. All right, thank you very much for joining me. I wish you all the very best. I'll see you on January 3rd with my buddy Roy, covering this enormous domain of program management. By the time we're done, you're going to be at such an elevated position in your thinking, in your speaking, in your coherence to see things holistically at a much higher level. I'll see you there.